Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving straight into the relaxing and honestly incredibly fun world of Sukumar Ayashendran's Water Animals coloring book. Because let's face it, not all coloring books are created equal, right? The line weight, the shapes, the overall design, those things play a massive role in how fun the experience actually is. So we're going to break down exactly how this specific book constructs its underwater adventure to be perfectly approachable and just delightful for artists of literally any age. Okay, let's take a look at the cover right off the bat. It makes its mission super clear right away. Fun and easy ocean and sea creature coloring pages for kids and adults. It's definitely not trying to be a complex biology textbook. This charming row of aquatic icons, from the spouting whale to that smiling octopus, really shows us that this is a playful, low-pressure creative outlet. It's perfectly inviting for adults who just want to unwind after a long day, just as much as it is for kids who are maybe just learning how to stay within the lines. And you know what? That inviting tone continues the second you open the book. Instead of hitting you with a dry, boring table of contents, we get this wonderful quote, "Welcome to the underwater coloring adventure." Framing this whole thing as an adventure completely shifts your mindset from just filling in blank shapes to actively exploring the ocean. It immediately gets you excited to see what kind of friendly creature is waiting on the very next page. All right, Section 1, Preparing for the Journey. Now check this out. Look at how a totally standard introductory page has been tweaked just a bit to spark your imagination. This Belongs To page makes the book interactive right out of the gate. Right below the standard name line, it actually asks you to declare your favorite sea animal before you even pick up a crayon. It primes your creativity and, honestly, kind of makes you eager to flip through the pages just to see if your favorite made the cut. Think of this as our treasure map. It promises a really wonderful list of ocean friends. We've got the whale, dolphin, shark, octopus, crab, sea turtle, jellyfish, and the tropical fish. And to make this super easy to explore, we've broken these down into a fun, thematic, visual safari for you. Which brings us to Section 2, Flippers, Fins, and Tails. Notice the visual contrast we've got going on here. On the left, there's a dynamic dolphin leaping out of these stylized splashing waves. And on the right, we have a shark. Now, usually, sharks are drawn to look, well, dangerous, right? But here, it has a huge, friendly smile. By using clean, really thick lines and totally skipping the jagged teeth, the artist makes the shark incredibly approachable and super easy to color. And this cute aesthetic, it is absolutely consistent across all the species. Both the sea turtle and the striped tropical fish are surrounded by these fun little floating bubbles that tie the whole underwater theme together. Plus, it gives you some extra shapes to fill in. Also, notice the wide, expressive eyes with those little highlight circles. It's a classic illustration trick to make characters look instantly endearing. Next up on our safari is Section 3, Unique Ocean Shapes. Okay, so the octopus and the jellyfish perfectly highlight that easy-to-color promise we were talking about earlier. Creatures with a ton of limbs can easily look cluttered and messy, but here, the artist uses sweeping, uncluttered curves. These long, continuous lines basically invite you to make smooth strokes of color without getting bogged down by frustrating tiny details. You can literally just follow the curve of the tentacle with your marker and just relax. That whole philosophy of smooth, relaxing design totally carries over to the seahorse and the starfish too. In nature, these creatures are heavily textured, right? Seahorses are bony and ridged, and starfish are covered in rough bumps. But in this adventure, even those textures have been softened into smooth, rounded shapes. There are absolutely no sharp corners to stress over here, just really satisfying bubble-like forms. Let's move into Section 4, Claws, Shells, and Spikes. So what happens when an easy, fun coloring book tackles the ocean's more heavily armored residents? Watch how the artwork flips the script on potentially intimidating features. Both the crab and lobster have large claws, sure, but they're drawn as soft, waving hands rather than sharp, scary pinchers. Plus, the lobster scene includes fun background details like stylized seaweed and smooth rocks, which gives you a great chance to color an entire little underwater environment. I gotta say, this pufferfish might actually be my absolute favorite design of the bunch. In reality, a puffed-up pufferfish is a warning sign to stay away. But here, it honestly looks like it just wants a hug. Its defensive spikes are drawn as small, completely unthreatening triangles. Just imagine how satisfying it will be to fill that round body with a bright, vibrant blue, and then dot those little triangles with a contrasting color. Which brings us to our final stop,
Section 5, bring it to life. So, what colors will you actually choose for your underwater adventure? Because here's the thing, all this clean, thick-lined artwork we've been looking at is intentionally unfinished. It relies entirely on you, the reader, to make those final creative decisions. The bold outlines are just there to guide you, but the real personality of these ocean friends won't fully emerge until you decide how they should look. It's a true collaboration between the illustrator's welcoming shapes and your own unique imagination.
Like the book enthusiastically encourages right from the start, it is time to grab your coloring tools of choice. Whether you prefer the soft shading of colored pencils, the nostalgic feel of crayons, or the bold pop of markers, just dive in and bring the underwater world to life. Those heavy outlines we talked about are forgiving enough to handle pretty much any medium you prefer. Which leaves us with one final exciting question. Will you stick to nature's palette, coloring the dolphins gray and the crabs red, or will your ocean be filled with neon pink sharks and polka dot turtles? I really hope this explainer has inspired you to pick up a marker and find out for yourself, because while we can sit here and admire the cute designs all day, the real magic begins the very second the tip of your crayon touches the page. So what kind of world are you going to build?